Frank, 71, once told me, "I'm most afraid of waking up with stiff joints and a mind that's not my own." But just weeks after one simple daily food change, he felt lighter in his chest, sharper in his memory, and calmer in his sleep. No pills, no exhausting workouts, just a single food. That new research shows people over 60 absorb twice as effectively as younger adults. And the way it works inside your body will surprise you. Most people think of walnuts as just another snack, but senior-specific studies from Harvard and the Journal of the American College of Cardiology show they directly impact inflammation, heart flexibility, and memory through pathways younger adults can't access. I've seen this transform my patients' energy, independence, and mood in a matter of weeks. Of course, always talk with your doctor before making dietary changes. And in the next few minutes, I'll show you why a single handful of walnuts a day may be the smartest move you can make after 60. 1. Walnuts versus inflammaging. If you've ever woken up with joints that feel a little stiff, or noticed it takes longer to shake off that morning heaviness, you might be feeling something scientists now call inflammaging. It's a slow, quiet flame inside your body. Not enough to send you to the doctor, but just enough to wear down your heart, your brain, and your mobility over the years. This is where walnuts truly stand out. Just one small handful, about 7 to 10 halves, delivers 2.5 grams of alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA. And here's the part I find remarkable. After 60, your body actually turns ALA into powerful anti-inflammatory compounds more efficiently than it did when you were younger. It's a built-in advantage of aging, but only if you give your body the right fuel. A landmark 2020 study in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology followed over 600 adults in their 60s and 70s for 2 years. Those who ate walnuts daily saw up to an 11.5% drop in inflammation markers. 6 of the most damaging proteins fell, including interleukin-1 beta, a key trigger for heart disease. Frank, the 71-year-old I mentioned earlier, swapped his morning pastry for a small bowl of walnuts. Within weeks, his hands felt looser when tying fishing knots, and his morning walk stopped feeling like a chore. It's a little like pouring cool water over a slow-burning fire. You can't see it from the outside, but inside, your body finally has the chance to rest and repair. And what happens next might just change the way you think about heart health after 60. 2. Cardiovascular flexibility boost. One of the clearest changes I've seen in my older patients is how the heart itself becomes less flexible over time. Not the kind of flexibility you feel when you stretch, but the flexibility of the heart muscle and the blood vessels it pumps through. When those vessels stiffen, blood pressure creeps up. Your heart has to push hard, but walnuts can help here too. In the CARDIA study, researchers tracked over 3,000 people for 25 years, and the group who regularly ate walnuts ended up with lower diastolic blood pressure, a slower resting heart rate, and better relaxation between beats. That last part is important. It means the heart isn't just working, it's working with less strain, almost like oiling the hinges on a well-loved door so it swings open and shut with ease. Eleanor, 68, told me she noticed it on her hikes. She used to feel her pulse thumping in her ears halfway up the trail. After adding a small handful of walnuts to her post-walk snack, alongside a bit of fruit, she could reach the top without feeling winded. If you're already walking or doing light exercise, pairing it with walnuts may give your blood vessels exactly what they need to stay open, flexible, and responsive. Miss this step, and you could undo the progress your walks are giving you. 3. Brain network rejuvenation. Let's talk about memory, because one of the most frustrating things I hear from patients is, it's not that I've forgotten everything, it's that the names, the words, the little details just won't come when I need them. Part of this comes from the way our brain networks change with age. The connections are still there, but they can get sluggish, like old phone lines that haven't been used in years. Walnuts are rich in polyphenols and plant-based omega-3s that help keep these networks active. They support the brain's ability to recruit different regions to solve problems and recall information, a skill that tends to fade after 60. In the JACC study, published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2020, seniors at higher risk for cognitive decline who ate walnuts regularly showed better function in memory-related brain networks compared to those who didn't. George, 73, told me he started keeping a jar of walnuts by his reading chair. A few times a week, he'd snack on them with a handful of blueberries. After several months, he noticed it was easier to recall names in conversation. No more awkward pauses. Think of it as reconnecting those old phone lines, clearing away the static so the conversation in your head flows again. Your inflammation clock is already starting to reset, and we're about to make that effect even stronger. 4. Gut microbiome renewal. When most people think of walnuts, they picture heart health or brain health. But your gut? That's a benefit that rarely gets talked about. Inside your intestines lives a microscopic community called the microbiome. It's made up of trillions of bacteria, some helpful, some harmful. The balance between them can affect everything from your digestion to your immune system to how much inflammation you carry. In a 2-year study of older adults, those who added walnuts to their diet saw a significant rise in beneficial bacteria, like Faecalibacterium and Roseburia, and a drop in inflammatory bile acids that can irritate the gut lining. Maria, 70, decided to start her mornings with a high-fiber breakfast: oatmeal, berries, and a small handful of walnuts. She told me she felt less bloated, had more regular digestion, and even noticed her energy held steady until lunch. It's a bit like planting new flowers in a neglected garden. With the right nutrients, the healthy bacteria grow, crowding out the weeds and restoring balance. And here's the fun part. When your gut is happy, it sends the right signals back to your brain and your immune system, creating a full-body feedback loop of better health. Wait until you see what happens when you combine this with one small evening habit. 5. Nighttime inflammation reset. We've talked about mornings and afternoons, but there's one more time of day where walnuts can do something special: at night. Your body does most of its repair work while you sleep. That's when tissues rebuild, inflammation subsides, and your brain cleans out the waste it's been collecting all day. But only if your sleep is deep and steady. Walnuts naturally contain melatonin, the same hormone your brain produces to signal bedtime. In seniors, those levels often drop, which is one reason why deep sleep becomes harder to get. By eating a small handful, about 30 minutes before bed, you're giving your body an extra nudge toward restorative sleep. In a 2018 trial on sleep regulation, participants who ate foods rich in melatonin, including walnuts, reported better sleep quality and lower morning inflammation markers. David, 66, made this part of his evening wind down. He'd turn off the TV, pour a small bowl of walnuts, and sip some water while reading a chapter of his favorite book. Within weeks, he was waking up with less stiffness in his knees and more energy for his morning walk. It's a bit like dimming the lights in your home before bed. Your whole system gets the message. It's time to rest, repair, and reset. And this moment is where healing starts to feel like home. You know, sometimes it's the simplest, smallest choices that end up shaping the years ahead. A handful of walnuts isn't going to change your life overnight, but over weeks and months, it can quietly protect your heart, steady your memory, and keep your body moving with ease. Frank, Eleanor, George, Maria, David, they all started with that same small step, and it became part of a routine that supported their independence, their energy, and their joy. So here's my question for you. What's one small food swap you could start this week for your future self? If today's video gave you something to think about, join our healthy aging community. We share science-backed tips, real patient stories, and the kind of encouragement that makes this journey a little easier and a lot more hopeful. Because your healthiest years might just be the ones still ahead.